11 reasons why we fail to achieve our goals. Thinking of a goal is the easy part. Pi- Pinpointing the specifics of a goal, developing a plan of action, and then following through with that plan of action and pushing past the inevitable obstacles that will arise is a different story altogether. As you can see, there are many reasons why we fail to achieve our goals. Former US President Teddy Roosevelt is famous for having said, "Nothing in the world is worth having or worth doing unless it means effort, pain, and difficulty." It could be easy to blame people's avoidance of pain and difficulty for the fact that a great majority of goals fail to be met. But there has to be more to it than that, right? Well, there most certainly is. Here are the reasons why we fail to achieve our goals and a few helpful tips to help you reach the goals on your own list. Number one, shifting focus from reward to effort. Thinking about the end result and achieving the victory of reaching a goal is exciting. Man, I can't wait until I get that new job title. Or I'm going to look so good at the beach this summer. Can be great motivators. It's easy to start out full of energy and motivation at the beginning because our focus is on the end result. However, there's a disconnect with our brain's focus before we start our goals and after we actually begin. Before we start putting the work in, we're focused on the reward. Then slowly but surely, we begin to focus more on the effort. For example, hard work. It takes to get that reward. The key is to redirect our focus back to the reward as often as it takes to push through. Number two, goals are undefined or unrealistic. Perhaps you want to write a best-selling novel or become the next viral YouTube star. Well, that's great, and there's nothing wrong with that. But how do you plan to make any of this happen? Without a clear definition of your goals, they're just wishy-washy fantasies. If you've never read a book or written anything longer than a tweet, writing a best-selling novel is unrealistic. Likewise, simply saying you want to be a viral YouTube star is too vague without putting some specifications in place. Give some definition to those goals by setting smaller goals along the way, like join a writers group or make one new video a week. This will help you give you some focus while you work towards those loftier goals. Number three, there are too many things on your plate. Having multiple goals at the same time is not a bad thing. However, having so many goals that nothing ever takes a priority will yield poor results all around. If you feel like you are never fully accomplishing one task or can't seem to recognize which things are a top priority, there's a good chance you have set too many goals at once. A lot of us like to think we're masters of multitasking, but science says otherwise. Be careful not to overload yourself. Learn to prioritize, and you will reach your goals faster. Number four, poor planning derails all efforts. Just about every goal is going to require at least some planning, and others are, of course, going to need extensive planning. If you neglect to work out the steps for how to actually get from point A to point B, well, you very likely will never make it to point B. Maybe you want to increase your business customer base by 30% in the next year. Will you need to hire more staff to make this happen? What new strategies can be put in place? Do all marketing efforts need to be reworked? overlooked or discarded. Asking, answering these sorts of questions in the beginning and along the way is crucial. Number 5. Losing sight of the why factor. Let's say that you must uproot your family and move to a new town for a job. If you have teenagers, they're almost certainly going to put up some first. When the inevitable why comes up, it might be easy to say they have more because mom or dad had a new job and leave it at that. That's the reason, but it's not the why. Perhaps the move means a higher income for a more compatible lifestyle or the security of living in a safer environment. It's easy to lose focus of the why factor when it comes to working towards a goal. And this can hinder progress. Make sure you pre- period, periodically re-examine why you have that goal in the first place. Number 6. Excuses, excuses, and more excuses. Everybody makes excuses from time to time. Rattling off excuses on why a goal isn't worth pursuing or didn't work out is often easier than pushing forward. While some excuses may very well be valid, others are just total cop outs. Excuses are a convenience when it comes to abandoning a goal, but they're also paralyzing if not kept in check. Excuses can derail every goal you attempt. If you feel yourself in danger of hitting the brakes on a goal, take a good look and ask yourself if the reason is valid or just a flimsy excuse. Number 7. Fear of failure. Not reaching a goal because of the fear of failure is crippling and an insecurity that can seriously hold you back in life. Nobody wants to fail, and a fear of failure often stems from a need for perfectionism. The avoidance of taking risks, however, is no way to go through life. The good thing is that by looking at why you may have a fear of failing, you can learn to overcome it and avoid letting it sabotage your goals. Number 8. Failing to anticipate obstacles. Guess what? The fantastic, shiny goal of yours with a too good to fail plan is almost certainly not going to go perfectly to plan. Problems arise and obstacles get in the way. That's just how the universe works. If you fail to plan for some of these problems ahead of time, they may just prevent you from reaching your goal altogether. Try building in strategies and incentives for when you may feel yourself losing focus or running into problems. Having a rock solid plan A is always a good thing, but a pretty good plan B isn't a bad idea either. Number 9. There is no set deadline. Whether it's trying to learn a new skill or becoming a tycoon of industry, set a deadline for yourself and write it down. You are 42% more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down. And if you don't put a deadline on them, they're not going to happen. Number 10. Allowing naysayers to doubt the goal. The bigger the goal, the more people you may have doubting that you can accomplish it. It's easy to listen to the naysayers and allow their doubt to sidetrack and even derail your goals. And this can be why we fail to achieve our goals. There are always going to be critics and haters, and a lot of that negativity is rooted in jealousy. Don't allow the doubt to get the best of you, and instead use it as fuel for the fire to break you down on your focus and forge ahead.